Okay, first entry, my story part one. I haven't really, thought about, what to talk about, but I think I'm just gonna, share my life story with you guys. Um, when I was 3 years old, my dad left. He, I guess, rather have the booze and the other women rather than stay with his son and support his children. Um, I have a sister, but he rather support, do other things than be with his family. Um, when I was 4.5, my stepdad came into the picture, and I mean he's been a better dad than my dad ever could have been. Um, when I just hit middle school. I was about maybe 13. I started getting into fights. I started anything that even like they'll say people here they'll say anything to get on your fucking nerves. Whether it be oh your mom's a bitch or something like that. Anything talking about your family, talking about your friends, anything like that. Well, this kid said something about my dad, and I had no way to tell if he was talking about my stepdad or my biological dad. Dude didn't even know my dad, neither of them. So, but I lashed out anyways. I got into a fight, and ever since my dad left, I've had like a lot of anger towards everything. Um, when I had hit high school, I've been bullied my whole life. Because of how small I am, and I didn't like fighting, but I mean, I was that type of person. I was angry all the time. I still am. I'm still just like that. I mean, I'm still angry all the time. I can't figure out why, but I am. When I was 17, I had met this girl, and we dated for a solid 7 months. And I had decided after the 6 month, roughly, just getting into the 7th month, 3 days before the 7th month, that I didn't want to be together with her anymore. Why? Because I wanted to fuck with other females. It was a stupid, rash decision. Um, we had, I had met her here in Bakersfield, where I live at, and she moved in with me and my parents, and she stayed in that house for about 3 months before, no, less than 3 months, before we went out to Arizona and we lived with my aunt. I'm not gonna say on camera, what the circumstance was why we left for Arizona, because that's not my story to tell. That would be her story to tell. But we went to Arizona, and once we moved out there, it's like the whole relationship just switched up. We were fighting all the time, and I was starting to become just like the monster I was afraid to be. Started acting just like my biological father. No, my biological father, he beat the living hell out of my mom. So what my mom tells me. And every time I ask him about it, he tries to change the subject or he hangs up on me or something like that, so I know it's true. But me and her, we started fighting a lot, verbally and physically. We broke up, and I went back to Bakersfield. and I was at my buddy's house, and she kept blowing my phone up. She was trying to tell me that she was in the hospital delivering my child. And I was drunk, and I got irritated with her trying to blow my phone up because I wanted nothing to do with her at the time. I wanted to party and have a good time rather than be in Arizona with her standing by her side while she delivered my child. So I shut my phone off. The day after, I turned my phone on, and I had 22 missed calls from her. And I listened to the voicemail, and she told me. I felt so bad that I finally called her, and we got back together for like a day, and then I broke up with her again. 4 months had passed since that, and I called her again just to see how she was doing, and she said that she wanted to work things out, so I had my parents buy me a ticket, and I went back to Arizona. It still didn't work out. I went back to Bakersfield, deprived. I didn't eat, didn't sleep, didn't do anything. I waited a month, and I made my own money, and I went up there again. But this time she was with somebody